strobe. And we've still got a couple of games where we could see yet more madness. Wes Newton, the warrior. A man in a fancy new dark shirt with pink trim, which the eagle-eyed among you will spot a little logo on the back. I believe that's a wrestling-inspired theme. The Ultimate Warrior's face mask. Rod Harrington alongside me. Not a big WWE wrestling fan, I understand, Rod. Thought I'd point that one out to you, just so you're aware.
You're absolutely right. No, I don't get time to watch that in between all my studying.
Your study?
Well, I'm taking me own
Let's take Chris to throw first.
I'm going for a doctorate in a few things, so yes, I have to study an awful lot. Well, I actually fall asleep quite a bit, to be quite honest.
Enough of that. We have Wes Newton and Chris Dobey. Now, Chris Dobey is a relatively young man from the Gary Anderson stable, so managed, if you like, by Gary Anderson and
45.
From the northeast Bedlington. His dad and his uncle, I'm told, big Northumberland County players have been for a long, long time. Making his debut on the European Tour, hasn't qualified for Austria next week. We'll see what he can do here. Won his tour card on points in January at Q-School. He's managed to make the last 16 on the Pro Tour once this year already. So early days in his darting career.
100.
Big weekend for him. Up against a man with, you know, huge pedigree. Two-time major finalist, multiple Premier League participant.
95.
Has been there and done it. But he's a man under pressure at the minute.
He certainly is. I mean, he's a man that needs to get his career back on track. And all these youngsters like Chris Dobey coming into the game, they're very hungry.
31.
And he's certainly be hungry for the scalp of Wes Newton.
Well, he's a target, isn't he, for the likes of Dobey.
135, which you require 90.
Decent start for this one. Dobey looking at the 20s, staying there. Bull.
65.
Misses out. Newton may only get a dart at the bullseye himself, but he's going to look at the 18s here. Gets the treble, so it's not a shot at the ball, it's at double 7. And he gets it. A 15
first leg. Wes Newton.
Yeah, a very good leg from Wes Newton. Just what he needed to start the night off. Didn't want to start it off messing around too much, but he hasn't, and he's back in the treble now.
100.
He'll have good memories of the RWE Sporthalle here in Mulheim. Wes Newton, it was here that he made one of his 2 major finals at the European Championships in 2012. He was run-up, lost to Simon Whitlock in a final. But yeah, won't have good memories of losing there, but getting to the final is certainly something to be proud of.
58.
Well, I think he'd bite your hand off for a final place right now.
$140.
And not only has he tasted success in this arena, he's tasted success at this tournament as well, the Euro Darts Trophy. He won it in 2013. It wasn't held here. Called it the best win of his career, one of his 8 PDC titles. Beat Peter Wright and Justin Pike, Mensur Suljevic and Paul Nicholson in the final.
57.
Dobey in a decent position to break straight back though in the second leg.
43.
Just 43 for Wes Newton, leaves him 160, which is a little bit better than 164, but Dobey's got the advantage of having a go at it first. Oh, he needs to find a treble.
44,
so,
as you require 160.
Well, leaves him 120, which is gettable, but it could have been a lot easier.
But it leaves the door open for Wes Newton, even if he doesn't take it out. Just don't miss the big number now. And do you know what? That's a sensible dart to me. He wasn't even interested in the treble. It was just a big 20. Come back with 2 darts at a double. Oh, a dart at double top for Dobey now could sort this leg out.
80.
Well, that's wayward. I mean, Wes could have gone for another treble. Hit the flights, gone in the 5, gone in 1, or even busted it. So,
having said
well, he
that,
wouldn't have busted it, but yeah, he's gone and
Game shot in the
Well, he did
second
waste the
leg.
dart there,
Always
but he's
Newton.
managed to hit it
Leg
with his last
Chris
dart in
to
hand, and
throw
Wes
first.
Newton opens up a
Game on.
two-leg lead, so he kind of undid all his good work, to be honest.
And the 5 was miles away as well,
It was
wasn't
a
it?
long way off, but he got the job done.
137.
Winner of this one goes through to face the number 2 seed. That is
55.
Michael Smith, the defending champion at the European Darts Trophy. Won this tournament, the corresponding tournament. Same name, different arena. As in Leipzig, over in the east of Germany. I think East Germany, where Michael
140.
Smith wins these European Tour events. He's won 2. And then Riesa and Leipzig. And come over to the west, he doesn't tend to fare so well, but we'll be hoping that that's not some sort of
42.
omen for this weekend. He enters the fray tomorrow with the other 15 seeded players. Like some Michael van Gerwen, Dave Chisnell, Adrian Lewis, all entering the fray.
60.
Yes, and Adrian Lewis, fresh off his win in Auckland, down there in New Zealand. So he should be full of confidence.
95. Which require 164.
Yeah, sensible stuff from Chris Dobey. Knew that Wes Newton couldn't go out. Wasn't interested in going the
100.
bullseye route.
Wes is a long way back in this leg.
78. Chris requires 64.
So Chris Dobey just to settle himself down, get a leg on the board. Well, Trevor Lake leaves him tops. Well, he misses it by a similar distance as the last time he had a go at it.
44.
That one's closer, but not close enough. Now, Wes, a ton 40, 2 trebles of any kind, would put a bit of pressure on. Dear me.
42.
They
Which
weren't
required
even
20.
close to any of their intended targets.
No, and that's the way Wes Newton's game's been for a while
Game
now.
shot in the
Dobey
third leg. Christo
finally puts a leg on the board.
To throw
You know, he
first.
works hard to
Game
get
on.
himself in front and then throws some really atrocious legs. And of course, they're the ones that are going to kill you.
59.
Yeah, he's ranked 22nd in the world, the man from Fleetwood. But he was an established top 8 player for quite some time. And I said he'd been in the Premier League a number of years.
100.
And he has had a couple of, you know, if people don't follow the results away from the TV, they might think, oh, Wes Newton must be there or thereabouts. I remember seeing him in the semi-final of the Players' Championships, and he made the quarter-final of the match play last year. But to illustrate, he didn't even make the match play this year. I know that hurt him. That's his home tournament, if you like,
58.
just down the road. It did really hurt him not making that.
It just shows you how quickly the system can get you there, but the system can also be so detrimental to you if you're not performing. And for the business, obviously, it's the best for the PDC and
100.
TV because we're having the best 32 players in the world. The top 16 from the world ranking, but the next 16 are the best performing professionals
100.
outside of those 16.
Yeah.
So if you go outside of the top 16 of the world, and then you've got to do all your business on the tour and at these European events. And Barney's
59.
on the verge
Was you required
of going.
65?
Well,
At
of
the
going.
minute.
He might not be in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he'll be concerned as to what Justin Pipe does this weekend, I think.
Game shot in the
Wes
fourth
Newton
leg.
manages
Always
to
Newton.
take out the 65, and it's 3-1. And that's a decent leg of darts from Wes there. That's the kind of stuff that he was doing on a much more
Game
regular
on.
basis. But, you know, as I say, made the semi-finals of a major tournament back in December. So we do see it occasionally.
100.
It's just not as consistent as it was when he was, you know, a top 8 player in the world. You know, the criticism of Wes Newton's game for quite some while,
96.
even from himself, was, well, I keep making these quarterfinals. It was last 8 Wes, make the quarterfinals, and I'm not going on and beating one of the top players to make the semis and the final enough. And so
60.
he found himself hovering around that 8, 7, 9 in the world for a long time. He would bite your hand off to be back at that stage at the minute.
Oh, he certainly would be.
70.
Because being up there in the world, it guarantees you, I don't know, 50, 60,000 pound a year in appearance fees.
So he
77.
can't come back, but it is very, very tricky. Best example for that is probably Robert Thornton, really. You know, when he had all sorts of health problems, as Wes Newton looks to fill it up.
140.
yeah, dropped right down the rankings and then stormed back up and ended up winning the UK Open. And the question marks about whether we'd see Robert Fulton as a top dart player again. But he would be the example for a number of players to look at and say, well, it can be done.
Yes, Dennis Priestley come back from a little bit of in the wilderness and come back. And a few people have. Mark Walsh did to a certain extent. But there's a lot that haven't done. Oh, he went for the bullseye. It's just on the top side. Well, this would be an incredible check out and a killer blow to Chris Dobey. Oh, he wants double top. Double top it is for Wes Newton. This is more like the Wes Newton of old.
Sixth flag Wes to throw first.
Yeah, classic check out from Wes Newton there. 108, punishing his opponent. Throwing for a 5-1 lead now.
96.
Beat Terry Temple and Michael Barnard in qualifying for this one, Wes.
57.
Tony Newell and Curtis Hammond that Chris Dobey saw off to make his debut on the European Tour. Wes has qualified for Austria next weekend as well, so
96.
has the opportunity to pile on some more all-important ranking money.
$100. $94.
Well, he's got a nice lead in this leg to go 5-1 up, but that's a perfect dart from Dobey. Surely he's got to find another treble.
83.
But hasn't done. That's where, you know, if he's going to get himself back in the game, he's got to take advantage of the great position of the first dart.
60.
This is a new experience for Dobey. I mean, European Tour, he's got the big stage and has to contend with a, well, slightly
59.
less noisy crowd than we heard earlier. Has played at the UK Open a couple of times as Chris Dobey. He qualified as an amateur last year and made it as a pro this year, coming through the UK Open qualifiers at the start of the year. But
95.
just because you're at the UK Open doesn't necessarily you're playing on the big stage in front of all the fans.
Well, last time Wes Newton needed 60, he hit a big 5. Doesn't want to do it this time. No, plenty of room to the left of that dart for the double top. Double top it is.
Sixth flag. Oh, it's
pretty good on the doubles from Wes Newton. He leads 5 legs to 1 against Chris Dobey. And it's been a tidy performance.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 on the doubles as well, Wes. And that
58.
Is about as good as you're going to hope for. So Jan Dekker put in a very impressive display of finishing in this afternoon session. He hit 6 out of 7. Wes is on course to
60.
Do something similar. Despite that, the overall average, Chris Dobey is actually a little bit higher.
125.
Around about the 89, 90. Oh, there you go, 91 now compared to 88. But Wes has had one absolute shocker of a leg, which has dragged his overall average down. And Dobey's missed his doubles. That 108 finish was an absolute killer.
100.
So Newton in the box seat, looking to wrap this up as quickly as possible. He's got some ground to make up in this leg as they fight it out for a place in the next round to face Michael Smith, the number 2 seed. And then the final match of this evening will see James Wilson taking on Martin Schindler. Another of the host nation qualifiers, the young German. He's only 19 years old, about 4 foot tall. Newton has clawed his way back into this leg, so he's ready to pounce if Dobey does have any problems getting rid of this 177.
99.
Well, a minimum of a ton is required, and after that dart, it's going to be more than a ton, surely. And that's exactly what he's done, just to put the pressure on. Look at the treble 18, that will leave him double 12. Double 12 it is to put his second leg on the board. Oh, that's a long way off.
The
that one is
shot
not.
in the 7th flag. Christo.
Well, it's quite impressive having missed by so much
Game on.
and then having just one dart in your hand that he's managed to nail that double six.
But he has missed a lot of doubles by a lot of distance. I mean, a few at double top have been inch and a half away. You know, that's a little bit of nerves. He's new to the game. You know, can only get better with the experience.
96.
Yeah, I mean, first year as a PDC pro, then it's all about giving it a go, see where you are at the end of the year, and trying to get as much experience as possible. And events like this are a phenomenal way of doing it.
Well, we say, you know, people like Chris Dobey, if he's missing doubles by that, we're just saying that's a little bit of nerves because he's first time on the stage. If a pro like Wes Newton starts to miss by that, we kind of say perhaps his bottle's gone and what have you. But the one thing Wes Newton has done well, he hasn't scored well, but he has hit the doubles well.
Yeah.
He'll know he's got to step it up against Michael Smith.
Yeah,
140.
That's it from Chris Dobey.
Yeah, that's if Wes Newton wins this.
Yeah, it's not over yet. And we have seen some topsy-turvy old games today. Yeah, I remember talking to Justin Pipe. Justin Pipe Warriors explained it in a very simple way. He said it took me 2 years to work out how to win games on the Pro Tour. It took me another 2 years to work out how to win games on the stage. And I think he'd probably admit he's still learning how to go all the way and do it repeatedly at the big stages. He had a couple of semi-finals as Justin Pipe. Look at this.
102. Which you require 32.
So 32, and I think it's got to go. And it does.
Shot in the A flag.
Chris Dobey. There's a break of throw. It's 5-3.
Chris to throw first. Game on.
This isn't over just yet, ladies and gents.
Now if he can hold on to his throw here, then certainly the pressure will be on Wes.
140.
And the young man has stepped it up.
$96.
There we see. Outscoring him. Overall average is higher.
62.
It's Newton who still has the advantage, and it's down to that statistic you see
95.
there. 5 out of 6 on the checkouts. That is world class.
$100.
But he's had to do that because, like you say, his scoring has not been good enough. However, if you get over the first round, who cares what the
100.
averages are? It's just getting over the line. Well, Dobey's going to have to come down to the 19s now. Which he's done. So a chance here for Newton. Ton plus is needed.
$85, which you require 140.
Yeah, that last dart is a bit of a killer for him. It may not matter if Chris Dobey takes this out. Well, level ton.
100, which you require 125.
125. Ball 25 ball. There's the ball. There's the 25.
Oh, and it looks good, doesn't it?
Game, shot.
What a way to win
And the match was Newton.
Ball 25 ball. Oh, and he suggested it half in jest. He would have preferred 25 treble 20 top. But Wes Newton, superb finishing from him. The scoring wasn't there, but that really was world-class finishing from Wes Newton. 6 out of 7 on the doubles. He's made a match that looked like it was getting a little bit tricky for him.
So ein spektakuläres Ende von Wes Newton
in the 9th leg. A 6-3 victory. He will face the number 2 seed and defending champion at the European Darts Trophy, Michael Smith. Tomorrow in the second round, we have one more place in the second round to be sorted out. It's going to go to Ida James Wilson, former big noise in the BDO, man who made the move over this year, coming through Q School. And he's going to take on little Martin Schindler, a German. Is he going to get the kind of support we saw from Max Hopp earlier? Or have this German crowd blown themselves out in that thriller against Raymond van Barneveld? Here's Wes Newton. He's through to the next round.
Strong at the checkout. His checkout percentage is very high.
Yeah, I think that was the difference really. None of us played what we can, but I took some finishes out early on. I think that was the only difference in the game really. So it was hard to prepare really with the fire alarm and everything, the stop-start. But And I'm a bit more experienced than Chris, so I think that was the difference, really.
Michael Smith, your next opponent. A tough cookie, we all know that.
Yeah, Mike's a great player, we all know that. I've got to up it again next game, but I think I can, and you know, I think we've got a pretty even record, me and Mike, so it should be a good game.
Looking forward to that. Thank you. Wes, thank you. Wes Newton. Sagt, das Check-out-Percentage, also die Doppelquote am Ende der entscheidende Faktor, dass heute Chris